Hello viewers, I am Dr. Mala Das Sharma. Welcome you to my channel Chem Feeling. Let's start 35th episode of Teaching Chemistry through Riddle. Here is riddle number 35. A is an important theory of chemical reaction. This theory tells about the species of transient existence formed during a chemical reaction. The rate of the reaction depends on this short-lived species in two ways. The equation derived from this theory relates reaction rate with thermodynamic parameters. So, this is our riddle number 35. Now, let's see the question. The primary question is, what is the theory referred here? And the answer is transition state theory of reaction rate. Now the second question, what are the silent features of transition state theory? Now before going to the features of transition state theory, let's know about the drawbacks of collision theory. The collision theory is applicable for only gaseous bimolecular reaction, that is number 1. It is not applicable to the reaction in the aqueous solution, that is in the solution state. And another point, in collision theory, there is one factor that is known as the steric factor, and sometimes it is difficult to calculate the steric factor. Now coming to the features of transition state theory. Collision theory, what we have observed that the reactant molecules acquire some extra energy from the environment and reaches to a certain high energy level known as threshold energy level. Now this energized reactant molecule or these activated molecules collide among themselves and give the product. But in transition state theory, this reactant molecule in the energized state, that means in the activated state, they form a short-lived or transient complex. That means a very weak bond developed between the reactant molecules. So this activated complex, this short-lived complex is known as activated complex. And this activated complex has separate entity. And this activated complex, it breaks down to the or decomposes to the product. And the laws of thermodynamics can be applied to this activated complex. Now see here, this is the reaction between carbon monoxide and nitrogen dioxide. These are the reactant. Now in the energized state, that means high energy state, these two reactant molecules, they form an energized activated complex. Energized complex means activated complex where a weak bond developed between them. And this activated complex is transient, that means very short-lived. And then this complex breaks down to the product. This is exothermic reaction, that means the energy of the product is less than that of the reactant. So the net result is energy will be released. Now the reverse reaction where carbon dioxide and nitric oxide, they form this carbon monoxide and nitrogen dioxide. It is endothermic reaction. Here also you see same thing is happening. A very transient or short-lived complex molecule which is known as activated complex is formed between these reactant molecules. That means carbon dioxide and nitric oxide molecule. Now this transient complex or activated complex breaks down to the product, that is carbon monoxide plus nitrogen dioxide. And here the energy of the product is more than that of the reactant. So here energy is absorbed, that is the net result, and it is endothermic reaction. Now, this activated complex which is formed in transition state theory, it remains in equilibrium with the reactant molecules. I'll show you. And then already I told you this activated complex breaks into the product at a spatial vibration. That means at a particular vibrational frequency it breaks down. Means see the atoms, they vibrate around the internuclear axis, and at a particular vibrational frequency it breaks down. And the rate of the reaction depends on number 1, concentration of this activated complex in the transition state, and number 2, rate at which the activated complex decomposes. Now the third question is, what is the equation of rate constant derived from this theory and how it is related to thermodynamic parameters? Now see, according to transition state theory, the activated complex form, it remains in equilibrium with the reactant molecules. Now see, here this A plus B, A and B are reactant, and this is activated complex, AB activated, and these reactant molecules and this complex, it remains in equilibrium, and the complex finally breaks down to the product. So what will be the equilibrium constant for this activation? K equilibrium activation will be equal to concentration of this activated complex divided by concentration of A, that is molar concentration of A, and molar concentration of B. Now from this equation, this concentration of this activated complex, it will be equal to, that is equilibrium constant for this activation multiplied by molar concentration of A and molar concentration of B. Now we know that rate of this reaction we can express as minus ddt of molar concentration of A or minus ddt of molar concentration of B. That will be equal to rate constant into concentration of the reactant, molar concentration of the reactant A and B. And here these powers are 1 because it is bimolecular second order reaction. Now, if nu is the frequency at which the activated complex breaks up, then the rate of decomposition of the activated complex is given by, now we'll see. See, rate of decomposition of the activated complex, that will be equal to concentration of this activated complex into nu, that is the frequency of vibration at which it breaks up. Earlier we have seen rate of the reaction is minus ddt of A or ddt of B, and that will be equal to rate constant into molar concentration of A and molar concentration of B. And then rate of the reaction, now already you have seen, it depends on this molar concentration of this activated complex and the frequency of vibration at which it breaks up. So this rate will be equal to, we can write concentration of this activated complex into nu. Now concentration of this activated complex, just now we have derived, that is the equilibrium constant for activation into molar concentration of A, molar concentration of B, and then this one, that is frequency of vibration. So if we equate these two things, that is K into A, molar concentration of A and molar concentration of B is equal to K equilibrium activation, then molar concentration of A, molar concentration of B from here into nu, that is that frequency. So from this A and BB gets cancelled, then K is equal to equilibrium constant of activation into nu. Now if E is the energy of vibration, then energy is equal to h nu, we know that. So nu is equal to E by H. Now vibrational frequency or the vibrational energy is equal to Kb into T. Kb is Boltzmann constant, T is the temperature. This is the expression of vibrational energy. Okay. So Kb into T divided by H, or from this equation we can write nu is equal to R by N or R into T divided by N into H, because Kb is equal to R by N, that is Boltzmann constant. So from here we can see this rate constant K that is small k is equal to this equilibrium constant of activation into RT by NH, because in place of nu we can write RT by NH. Now when all substances being in their standard state, that is activity is unity, then we know this equation delta G is equal to minus RT ln K. Here it is delta G activation is equal to minus RT ln K equilibrium constant of activation. That means free energy change is equal to minus RT ln equilibrium constant. This we know, this equation. Now, so from this equation, ln K equilibrium activation, we can write it as minus delta G activation by RT. Already we have derived this equation. Rate constant K is equal to equilibrium constant of activation RT by NH. ln K, if you take this ln, then ln K will be is equal to ln equilibrium constant of activation plus ln RT by NH. Then ln K, next line we can write, in place of this ln K equilibrium of activation, we can write minus delta G activation by RT plus as it is ln RT by NH. So from this equation we can write K is equal to e to the power minus delta G activation by RT, and from here into RT by NH, and this is Eyring equation. So we have seen this Eyring equation, K is equal to RT by NH e to the power minus delta G activation by RT. Okay. Now R by N is Kb, that is Boltzmann constant. So Eyring equation can be written as K is equal to, that is rate constant K is equal to Kb into T by H e to the power minus delta G activation by RT. That is Kb T by H into e to the power minus delta G activation by RT. Now, from Arrhenius equation we know K is equal to A e to the power minus EA by RT. In my earlier video I have shown you. Eyring equation, K is equal to Kb T by H e to the power minus delta G activation by RT. From Arrhenius equation, if you take this ln, then ln K will be is equal to ln A, then here it is already e to the power, so it will be minus EA by RT. Now if you differentiate this equation with respect to temperature, assuming that EA, that is activation energy, is independent of temperature at this range, then ddt of ln K, this will be the constant term, will be is equal to EA, this EA by R, and then ddt of 1 by T. ddt of 1 by T will be minus T to the power minus 2. So minus minus plus, so 1 by T square. Now from Eyring equation, taking this Eyring equation, what we can get it? See, this is Eyring equation. So ln K, if you take the ln K is equal to ln Kb by H plus ln T. Log A into B means log A plus log B into log A plus log B. So plus ln T Then already it is e to the power minus, so here it will be minus delta G activation by RT. So ln Kb by H plus ln T, in place of delta G activation we can write delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. So delta G activation we can write delta H activation minus T delta S activation. Then what it will be? It will be delta H activation by RT, and here it is T delta S. So this T and this T will get cancelled. So therefore delta S activation by R. Now you have to differentiate this equation with respect to temperature, assuming that delta H activation and delta S activation are independent of temperature. Then what it will be? ddt of ln K, that will be is equal to, come here, this part is the constant part. Now ddt of ln T will be 1 by T. Now coming to this part, this is R is constant, so minus 1 by R, and this delta H activation also independent of temperature we have assumed. So delta H activation, so ddt of 1 by T. ddt of 1 by T, here it will be minus 1 by T square. Okay. And this is the constant. So therefore finally what we get from here, 1 by T and minus minus plus plus delta H activation by RT square. Now you see this is also ddt of ln K from Eyring equation, and this is ddt of ln K from Arrhenius equation. Both are ddt of ln K. Now comparing these two, we can write EA by RT square is equal to 1 by T, means almost equal to 1 by T plus delta H activation divided by RT square. So from here we can write EA, activation energy, just multiply the numerator by RT square, activation energy will be is equal to RT plus delta H activation. Now the difference between the transition state theory and collision theory, that is transition state theory versus collision theory. Transition state theory, already we have observed that this reactant molecule forms a short-lived activated complex in the energized state. In the collision theory, no, the reactant molecules reaches to the high energy level, that is threshold energy level, and then after collision they give rise to the product. So transition state theory states that reaction occurs via the formation of transition state or activated complex. Collision theory states that reaction occurs via collision of reactant molecules with sufficient energy and proper orientation. Already explained all these things in my earlier video. Now, transition state theory, it is applicable for both gaseous as well as reaction in aqueous solution. But collision theory is applicable for gaseous reaction. And the transition state theory explains the cleavage and formation of bond in the transition state. But collision theory, there is no question of cleavage and formation. Nothing is explained there. So collision theory does not explain the cleavage and formation of bonds. Any reaction means breaking and making of bonds, but that cannot be explained through collision theory. So this is the end of this video number 35. Thank you.